us a movie about the news, or a movie that depicts the news in a fresh and interesting way. And by that, I mean sitting at your computer looking at it on your laptop, which is how most of us experience world events. And this is a movie about that. That's right. We're talking the new Amazon picture, The War of the Worlds, starring Ice Cube. And joining us in this endeavor to break down this masterpiece of science fiction filmmaking is Patrick, Caleb, and Cameron. Separately, they are wonderful lads. Together, they are Pod About List. Boys, it's been too long. Welcome back to the show.
Hello.
It's good to be
Thank
here,
you.
Will.
What's going on, guys?
Basically, fellas, I'm in hyper download right now.
Okay.
I'm in hyper download.
I watched this movie around like 11 p.m. last night, and I've just been up since then. I didn't go to sleep. It was too exciting. I don't know if I'll ever go back to bed.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, I couldn't tear my eyes away from the screen for the entire runtime. I seriously
know.
didn't even look away and look at anything else while I was watching.
Did you ever have a moment watching this where you looked at your phone and you're like, it's just the same fucking shit I'm looking at on a fucking TV?
This movie gave me the feeling of like watching two friends who I don't like that much, and one is backseat gaming the other, and the game he's playing is terrible, and he also sucks at it.
Yeah.
I would describe this movie, like I said, an adaptation of H.G. Wells' classic story, The War of the Worlds, adapted by such people as Orson Welles and Steven Spielberg. This is directed by Rich Lee, who is a second unit director on a bunch of other things, and is a screenplay courtesy of the guy who wrote Osmosis Jones. I don't know if you remember that picture, but
Oh, wait, that's huge.
We're
for
huge
us.
Osmosis Jones.
Yeah,
fans.
we're
That's a
real
little
big
bit-
Osmosis Jones.
That's
fans.
an
was the
important
hook for
credit.
me.
Yeah.
yeah, I would say so. Like, yeah, this takes a beloved science fiction classic and sort of brings it into the present day. Brings it into the year 2025 with a sort of trenchant commentary on the world we live now, the way we live now, and the way we live now is like, imagine an alien invasion. Imagine aliens invade Earth. Now, but imagine that is imbued with all the excitement and action of having to change your password because you forgot to log into a website that you're on frequently. And then you have to like go to your email, check your email, then suggest strong password. Then you forget the strong password because it's too strong. Then you have to do it again. And then you already used that password. And then imagine all that excitement, the excitement of changing your password. But now imagine looking at Ice Cube's absolutely gormless face as he just sort of stares slack-jawed at an alien apocalypse and just says, damn.
Yeah. I mean, I was geared up to love this movie because I love Ice Cube. I love him and his son, O'Shea Jr. They do my favorite thing that celebs and their friends and children do on Twitter, which is like he'll quote tweet a troll and go, "Why don't you go jack off in your mom's basement?" And then O'Shea will like quote tweet and be like, "Yeah, get him, Dad." And so I'm cheering for that. This movie is barely more than that. It's just a Zoom call with Ice Cube.
Yeah.
But it really just gives the feeling of like when you click on an article that you think is kind of interesting and it asks you for your email so you can subscribe.
Also, like it's like a Zoom call, but it's also just constantly like zooming in on different parts of the screen and zooming out, and it's literally looks like the DJ Academics video where he spills water on his computer. It's like genuinely exactly like that the entire movie. It's so crazy,
Dude, that's the visionary style of Rich Lee, director of Eminem Houdini, Eminem Rap God.
Yeah,
Eminem.
Don't act like
Monster.
that's not a credit, by the way, Pat.
Dude, he's Eminem's like it's
Rap
like
God?
every
He did
single
the Rap God music video.
Dude, he did Rap
motherfucker.
God. He did Rap God. He did fucking Not Afraid. He did, dude.
Those are big.
Yeah, he's got the biggest Eminem videos.
Yeah,
he's got the
And
biggest
I just
and
saw
best
what he
Eminem
looks
videos.
like. If you Google his name, his picture is really cool.
Yeah, hold up. Let me see.
He's doing a raised eyebrow and he has a big beard.
Oh,
Oh my
fuck yes,
god! Oh
dude.
my god! Oh my yeah! This does look like how I would imagine the director of the Rap God video to look.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Another Chapo, like sort of closing the circle here, bringing it all the way back. You mentioned he did the best Eminem videos. That includes the Eminem video.
I forgot to mention
Oh
that
my
one.
god! So he basically directed Venom. That's the only part that anybody gives a fuck about.
Oh yeah.
So the thing that I loved about this movie is that what it felt like to me was that they took the video from like dark rides at like Universal Studios where they have like a mounted gun on like a square little box and they move you through that whole thing. You have 3D glasses on. It feels like they took just the video from that and they uploaded it as a movie. And they're like, remember to shoot the bugs for extra points. You're like, okay.
The way that it looks is so crazy. They can't even do the screen life thing quite right, and it's like your VR goggles crashed, and it's like showing you your desktop in a real
that is like the only thing about this movie that's kind of charming to me is that it visually has the same understanding of computers and the internet as a movie made in like 1995. Like it's like Sandra Bullock's The Net, because there are so many plot elements I love, like the fact that Ice Cube's character is briefly like a combination of Eisenhower, General Marshall, Monty. Like the entire world is asking him for advice on how to conduct the unified war against the aliens. But also, like, all the computer stuff is just him going, go to the extra download portion.
I think
turn on the hyperlink.
There's a part in this where he like right clicks on something and then it says show sensitive government agencies.
I want this computer. I wonder how much it is to get this version of Windows, man.
Dude, you can get it on Amazon
extra
Prime.
Drop downs. Yeah, I mean, I think a guy who's a supercomputer nerd who doesn't know anything about computers is about as perfect of a movie character as you can be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like his son. There's a major plot point with his son that will, spoil.
Well, let's preserve that
for people who want to, that you cannot see coming at all. The most surprising thing I've ever seen in a movie, but that they're arguing about computers before that, and Ice Cube's like, "What do you think you can show me about a damn email? I've been downloading hyperlinks since you was in my balls."
It's so funny too that they like clearly they have like 2 or 3 government program visualizations that they just keep using over and over, and then they run out of it and they're like, you know what, let's just have them go on Facebook for a while now. Texting, Facebook, FaceTime, this stuff.
Dude, they start the movie with Spotify too, which is so fucking funny.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot in this movie, particularly this premiered on Amazon Prime, and we will get to the climax of this movie, which is basically just an ad for Amazon.
Yeah,
like if you want to the summation of this movie is data collection is bad, but Amazon will also save the world if you give them your data.
This is an ad for Amazon. It's an ad for Prime Air, especially, but also AWS, but also Facebook and Tesla. I think, like, do they show this movie to, like, if your family member dies in an Amazon warehouse? They show it.
You get to be in it. You get to be in it as one of the people running.
I do love the addition of the character who's an Amazon delivery driver, and every time we cut to him, they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, just using the bathroom whenever I want to." Not a big deal for me to piss and shit in a bathroom.
Well,
another day voluntarily bathing Lauren Sanchez. Something that I do without any coercion from my boss.
I mean, I don't know if you saw the. I don't know if this is a reputable news source, but there was an article the other day claiming that Jeff Bezos is all in on making sure his wife is in the next James Bond movie.
I saw that.
And it's like,
as James Bond.
as Money Pussy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that face 14 feet tall.
Yeah.
I'll say that much. No, I think she should play Javier Bardem's character from Skyfall. Bring back the character, but have Ms. Bezos in that role. So yeah, like diving into this movie. If you're aware of this movie at all, if you've seen any of the the conversation about it or seen the trailer or something like that, you'll probably be aware of the fact that the entire movie takes place and is experienced and mediated by Ice Cube sitting at a desk looking at his computer. And like let me just double down on this. There is no point in this movie, save for one scene, where Ice Cube tries to leave the building he's in, but finds the door is locked and then comes back to his desk. The entire movie takes place is Ice Cube looking at a computer screen and sort of via that witnessing an alien invasion, a war of the worlds. Now, I got to say, this is like a basic concept for a movie that I really like. I like any movie that's about the apocalypse, but you only see like a keyhole glimpse of it. Like it's a very small corner of how people are experiencing some cataclysmic event. You know, like I think that's a good concept, particularly for like a lower budget movie. I don't know what the budget on this movie is, but I was not seeing it on the screen. I think this is another example of money laundering. I think this movie exists to launder money and be an advertisement for Amazon Prime shipping. But like, you know, the conceit is that we meet Ice Cube, who he plays Will Radford, who is a Department of Homeland Security domestic terror analyst. And his job, like we see him, the movie begins, he logs into his computer to start his day at work. And now, Will Radford is essentially, just imagine Ice Cube, but wearing glasses and in like a quarter zip. That's who Will Radford is. He logs into work, sits down at his desk, and his job consists of just basically managing our surveillance state, the sort of this digital web of surveillance, this global panopticon. He opens up. I like the opening, the sequence that shows his job. It just basically logs into work, opens up all the browsers on his computer, and then like just logs into like all these different surveillance feeds that are just basically show you different tourist locations all over Washington D.C.
Yeah.
And I liked it because it just like you see his perspective, and it like zooms in on the White House, and it says threat level medium, and then it's like the Washington Monument threat level low. But like it's not really clear how they're determining this. It's just sort of the camera zooms in. There's people walking around the National Mall, zooms in on a person, threat level low. Someone sitting on the park bench, threat level medium. So he's basically tasked with collecting all this data, just sifting through the feeds, sifting through the surveillance footage, tapping into cameras everywhere, and just getting the information to the people in charge.
He has the hardest job, I think, in the world. He is God.
Bro, every morning he has to look at the entire country.
Yeah, he has to look at every single thing.
And it's just him in there?
Medium,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
time to pour myself a cup of coffee and look at everything that
by the way,
exists.
that's about the first 10 minutes of his day. And then he goes, all right, let's look at my daughter.
If I miss anything, then a bunch of people are going to die.
Yeah.
Dude, it's one guy. He's got no coworkers. His only other coworker is a woman who works at NASA. That's like the only
Longoria.
Yeah, not just any woman, Patrick. Desperate Housewives represent.
I don't watch it.
And we only see her. We only see her name like twice. Her real name twice. The rest of the time, she just shows up as like Jennifer NASA.
No, I feel like I wrote this in my notes. Sandra NASA is her name on like when like the phone.
Not even he's just like enough friends for him to say.
I love that. It's like
Steve FBI.
Yeah, it's like you work for the government. You still have people's names saved in your phone, like Sam, guy with the good weed.
Matt.
Do you think that Donald Trump has JD Vance saved as like JD work? So like I love this part because like the completely arbitrary threat warnings, because like they don't show like what he would do if they were like, bin Laden's gonna strike. Would he just like do a Zoom call with the Secretary of Defense and be like, we gotta get the army to the Washington Monument, this place that like no one would ever bomb? But it instantly turns into, after the first 10 minutes, it turns into, I guess you could describe it like if The Life of Others was directed at the ASU film program.
Like he's dedicated to his job of keeping America safe by watching all of America all the time. And he opens up the browser, keywords, domestic terror suspect watch list. And when you're on the government computer, you just put the keywords in, the terror suspects come up. And then he gets a little alert. Disruptor live stream starting now.
Such
live
a
feed
great
notifications.
Hacker name, by the way. Can we just stop and appreciate that?
Disruptor.
So good.
Disruptor.
It's like naming you're a scary black hat hacker and your name is the Synergizer.
So like, yeah, Disruptor is sort of, I don't know, like a Julian Assange, Edward Snowden type figure who's promising to release classified documents. And Agent Will Radford, Ice Cube, has been on this guy's case for months now, and he's like, like backtracing the IP to get a search warrant for his apartment. He's like, not today, Disruptor. Like,
when he's preparing to raid the Disruptor, he just clicks on something called Disruptor IP.
Yeah.
And it shows him like 12 possible IPs. And then he clicks on one and it's just a link to the Disruptor's video and he does inspect element.
Yeah, he inspects
like, it took him like a year to figure out inspect element.
So, like, we see a little bit of what should be a normal day at the office of the Department of Homeland Security. But even though he's the only guy working in the entire building, I mean, the movie does make clear that it is a Sunday, and he has chosen to work on the Sunday because, he has sort of a strained relationship with his kids, which thankfully the movie will get into full detail on. We will know everything about his family life and responsibilities as a father and parent. So he gets a call from Sandra NASA, and it's like, call incoming from Sandra NASA, and he's just like, which Sandra is that? Oh, wait, thank God it's the one who works at NASA. And yes, Sandra NASA is indeed played by Ava Longoria. And like, I guess they're friends or something, because she's calling him to be like, I've never seen, like, are you watching these global storms that are happening? I've never seen global storms like this. And he goes, I watch people, not weather. And like, she's showing him like all different live feeds of cornfields where the threat level's low, so he's not watching it. But there's like arcs of lightning and strange looking cloud formations, and he's like, huh, that's crazy. And then she's like, all of NASA's satellites are down. We're blind. And he's like, listen, I'll call you back later. I got other stuff to do.
All of their satellites.
He's like, he's too chill about it.
Yeah.
He's way too chill about it. And they show like,
he's like, I got to go by.
It's Ride
Your
the Lightning.
Disruptor post just dropped.
It's Ride the Lightning Metallica at the Statue of Liberty. And he's like, well, might as well fucking look at my daughter.
Yeah, she ate a muffin. I gotta go figure that out.
She should be eating eggs.
Fellas, okay, we have to talk about this aspect of the movie, because he says, gotta go by. There's a new Disruptor post. And like, it's like talking in the distorted voice. And it's like the government Goliath information program. It's evil program that's taking all your data. And I'm going to release the truth about it. And he's like, I'm working on getting a warrant for that. But hold on a second. Let me just go into, he's like, let's check out suspect number 2. And then he goes into like, secure like CCTV footage of his what we later learn is his daughter walking around like the Georgetown campus. The daughter is a biochemist. Now this will become important later in the movie, as you might imagine.
Yeah, extremely important.
Yeah. But like he's watching his daughter at like the school cafeteria, and then calls her, and he's like, "How are you going to eat a muffin? You need protein." And look, fellas, Ice Cube's character in this movie has a certain interest in the dietary and reproductive habits of young women. Yeah. So I sort of conceive of his character as sort of a modern day Chuck Berry. And I don't mean because of his rock music.
I mean, that in the director's cut of this movie, he misses the like Sandra NASA is trying to tell him that like all the satellites are down, and he has like 4 monitors up, and it's every Checkers bathroom in America.
He's right-clicking on all the toilets and clicking smell.
They're like, "Are you sure you want to come in? Are you sure you want to come in on a Sunday?" He's like, "Yeah, I think I'll be. I'll make some busy work."
He did the stuff he does in the first 10 minutes of this movie. Like, he should be in prison. Like, he is the most, like, this, if this guy was real, he's like the most controlling family member on earth. He would have already killed like at least one child.
Oh, yeah.
After the call of Sandra NASA, he goes into like his son's task manager and sees that his son is playing a game that we see a little bit of called Quantum Planet, which is hilarious.
It looked really good.
I will say that the graphics in the video game his son is playing is better than the special effects in this movie.
They're great.
Yeah.
I loved, by the way, the name of the game Quantum Planet, because it's like naming a game Biological Mountain.
Yeah.
It's such a meaningless. But Sandra NASA has told him all the satellites are down, and he instantly goes to yell at his daughter about eating a muffin, and then yell at his son for playing Quantum Planet. Like this movie should be Lives of Others too. This time in America, and he should go to prison.
And in addition to his, using government resources to spy on his family, I think at one point when he's like, he calls his daughter on her cell phone to just be like, "How are you going to eat a muffin for lunch?" And she's like, "Dad, like, how do you know I'm eating a muffin?" And she's like, "Dad, are you using the omnipresent surveillance state of the American national security apparatus to spy on my eating habits again?" And he's like, "Honey, me and your refrigerator got an intimate relationship." And she goes, "Dad, you hacked my fridge?" And he's like, "Sorry, I care, all right?" And what I love about this is like Felix, you're right. In any sane movie, it'd be like, this guy is a monster who is way too involved in the lives of his adult children.
Yeah.
But the movie, like the real point of the movie is that like, aren't you glad your obsessive parent spies on you 24/7? Because what if an alien invasion happens and you needed it? This movie is like the justification of every overly protective parent is just like, you say that now, but what if aliens invade?
I just realized that they never have him tap into an Alexa device.
Oh my God, that's such a good point.
Why did they do that? That's free as fuck.
I think you know why.
Too on the nose, just a little bit.
I just don't get it.
The thing about the fridge like sequence too is it's so insane and ridiculous, but somehow also still like I think maybe the most creative and cohesive thing in the entire movie. To the point where I feel like they wrote that section like a year before anything else, and like decided it was going to be an alien invasion afterwards.
Yeah, this movie does feel like they had a second movie like already made, and then they were like, "Well, just fucking throw War of the Worlds in there."
Yeah,
why not? This should be a screen life movie about a guy who works at the NSA, but it's not worth it.
It was originally about him spying on his daughter and getting trapped in her smart toilet and then having to only talk to her through the toilet for the entire movie.
Listen, I got locked in at work. I got locked in. A door, a big cabinet fell in front of the door.
He's like, "Honey, please eat some fiber. I can't stand this anymore."
She's like, that's actually where that line comes from. Where he's like, "You need to eat protein." It's from when he's the toilet with the screen on the back.
Sweetheart, there's rumors around the Disruptor sphere that your BMs aren't floating, and we need to work on that. We need to work on that. So, I mean, we see his overly protective relationship with his daughter, his sort of frustrated relationship with his son, who's like, seems to be some sort of like live at home gamer who's just like is on computer all day. And he's like, "Dad,
can you tell me what does he say is his job or like what he should be doing or some shit?" Because after the twist later,
just says this.
Oh, okay.
He says, "This is my job."
That's the scene where Ice Cube interrupts Quantum Planet, and he says, how about you stop getting to the next level and take your next class in college? And he's like, "Dad, this is my job." And he says he's a pre-funding founder of a startup.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be a Twitch streamer. I thought they were going to throw because Twitch is run by Amazon.
Yeah,
exactly. They could have thrown that in there.
"This is my job, Dad, and I make a decent living, and I get a great split."
Well, I did like in the scene where he's yelling at his like gamer son for being playing games instead of getting a job. And at one point, Ice Cube says to his son, he goes, "Listen, son, I got a friend at the NSA," and he's like, "Dad, come on! Like, I don't want to do that job." But it's like that. That's how you can get a job at the NSA. You just like call him up, be like, "Yeah, I work in Homeland Security. Listen, I got this son. He's in my fucking house. He's in his early 20s. But listen, he's really good at Quantum Planet. He's really good at being on the computer. So can you hook him up? Can you just hook him up with a job?"
He's building. These planets he's building and discovering.
You guys should see these Spore. He's Homer Simpson and Spore. You guys wouldn't even believe this shit, man.
But that's what we don't know is going on behind the scenes at the NSA, though. Snowden leaked all that stuff, but there was stuff he didn't touch, and they're doing Quantum Planet style shit out there. That a Quantum Planet addict would be an incredible hire.
Flying a plane through trees.
Yep.
Whoa.
Quantum Planet looks like a No Man's Sky type game.
Yeah.
So I guess the NSA is for advanced gamers, and Ice Cube only got into the DHS spying program because he played like NBA Jam, like a less advanced game.
Some brainless bullshit, dude.
Yeah, not Quantum
one of those
Planet.
EA sports games for morons.
Some jock ass fucking game.
I'm so
was
stuck
like
on
Delta
Quantum
Rune.
Planet. I just want to play. I want Quantum Planet to be real. I want to watch
too.
videos of it on
I
Instagram
actually
Reels all day.
I actually do. So
Quantum
bad.
Planet
I would
walkthrough,
literally-
part 1 of
Yeah.
60.
Yeah, here's 5
Look,
tips to rank
yeah.
up in Quantum
Oh
Planet.
my god, dude!
I wanna watch that
pirate
video.
software long play of Quantum
Please,
Planet. Oh my
God.
I would literally
I need
waste
that.
6 hours a day sitting at my kitchen table just scrolling YouTube
Tier
shorts.
list of every fucking planet.
Uh-huh.
I want to see that shit.
Every ship ranked.
How to go quantum.
Oh my god, guys! Some Ordinary Gamers has a new video about Quantum Planet's creepiest creepypasta.
So,
He's back.
like I said, and here's another thing I really like about this movie is that, like, and the scenes we just described of him spying on his son and daughter and having extended video phone calls with them. He's also basically got the director of the FBI and Homeland Security and the Secretary of Defense on hold. And the thing is, in addition to abusing the reaches and powers of the Department of Homeland Security and like surveillance capabilities, it did seem to me he was taking a lot of personal calls at work, like a lot of them, lot of them. And he's just like, hold on, I got the Secretary of Defense here, son. Hold on, we'll go back to Quantum Planet later. And basically, like FBI Karen is calling him, and they're like, we found Disruptor, and like he taps into a drone, and now he's like over Chicago, and like so he's arranging like a search warrant, and like coordinating with multiple federal agencies to do like a warrant and raid and arrest of the notorious hacker Disruptor. But those plans get sort of flummoxed for the time being when his daughter's boyfriend calls him and accidentally lets him in on the fact that he wasn't invited to the baby shower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's just
Why?
like,
He's just the craziest man ever.
The boyfriend, Mark.
Yes.
He's played by Roderick.
Roderick rules.
You're
Uh-huh.
kidding me.
Mr. Oppenheimer himself.
Yeah.
Well, not
Wow.
Oppenheimer, but
This
you
is
know what I'm
this
saying.
is huge for Roderick fans everywhere.
Yeah, Roderick heads like me and Pat were
Yeah.
screaming when we saw this.
Uh-huh.
I really like too that
wait.
clearly-
Who is Roderick?
From
Diary of a
of a
Wimpy
Wimpy Kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Loaded diaper. He's got a
Yeah,
band
what,
called
you
Loaded
guys
Diaper.
don't know
Yeah,
Diary
he's
of a
in Loaded
You guys don't talk
Diaper.
about Diary of a Wimpy
Come
Kid
on,
ever
This might
on
be
this
after
show?
your time. I
Yeah,
know
well-
you guys are much older than
Yeah.
me.
We,
I'm just
yeah,
a Gen Z kid.
me and Will, we had the original Three Rascals.
Yeah.
Three of which had names that we cannot repeat without getting banned off Patreon. We're like, I'm familiar with Diary of the Wimpy Kid. I actually auditioned to play Matt Rife's dad in a reboot, but I was passed over. But I think it's a great franchise. There has to be a Diary of a Wimpy Kid Wikia, right? Like
Yeah.
a fandom.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Yeah.
You're
Probably
looking at one of the
several.
moderators.
I'll be reading that later.
Yeah. I'm on the I'm the head editor of the Manny Heffley page.
Yeah.
Manny, was this a
Character.
children's franchise? That sounds like a 78-year-old Jewish man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manny Heffley is.
Manny Heffley is one of the goats.
Yeah.
So like he's basically managing several minor crises in his personal family life as he coordinates with the FBI and Secretary of Defense on a raid of a hacker. And then like he's on a phone call with his friend FBI Karen or FBI Ann or something. I think the actress was on Veep. She was one of Selena's friends.
I
on
love
Veep.
her profile photo on his phone, by the way, because she's doing this. She's like wearing a bulletproof vest. And she's like,
Yeah. She's doing the bear face, dude.
yeah, it's sick.
That like he like uploads the PDF that says warrant to the director of the FBI, and they're like, "Finally, we were waiting on that."
Yeah, I think it literally says too. I think it says like, "Would you like to upload this warrant?" Like something like that.
That's how FISA works.
It's so funny that he has to be the go-between too. That they're waiting on him. This one guy who's sitting on Facebook to like drag the warrant from the judge's iMessage window to like the FBI's.
Yeah, is Ice Cube's position? It should be confirmed by the Senate. It seems pretty important.
He's literally God of the United States. He has way more power than any one person in the United States.
Like, there's a scene later in this movie where he's on a conference call with the president, the Secretary of Defense, and like the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and they're like, Will Radford, what's your threat assessment? He's like, I think we need to deploy the military now, sir. And then they're like, we will initiate this war of the worlds. Thank you, Will. You can get back. You can get back to your daughter's baby shower right now. By the way,
they do something so fucking amazing, which is anytime that they cut to somebody that should also be in an office or whatever, where they'd have to get a prop person to come and populate the set to make it look like an important person's office. They're always just in a car. Which is genius.
Yeah.
Even though there's meteors hitting every single road.
One of them's on a fucking golf course. It's so awesome.
There's very clear like visual class politics in this movie, in that like all the real actors, like established character actors in Ice Cube, they get to dictate their terms. Like Ice Cube said, I want to be the most stationary actor of all time. Yeah. I don't want to move more than 30 feet in this entire movie. All the guys who play like the Secretary of Defense and like the president, they're all in like their real life backyards.
Yeah.
But all the lesser younger actors like Roderick, no offense to Roderick, they have to actually like act and like run around.
Yeah.
Everyone else just gets to phone it in like they like
literally
a guest, literally like being a guest on Ellen during COVID.
It does feel like their agents. It feels like their agents called them and screen recorded the phone, and they were like, "Do you want to do this movie?" They said yes. And they said, "Okay, go.
Let's do it right now.
You're in the movie.
You're in the movie. Let's go.
Just pretend everything sucks. Oh, and you're talking to Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Dude, the best example of that is like when the son is running away, like he's running from the big alien monster.
Yeah.
And he's just doing this with his phone.
Imagine a thrilling action scene in which alien war machines, like tripod dreadnoughts from the H.G. Wells' famous conception of the Martian war machines that destroy Earth and wipe out our armies and cities. Imagine seeing something like that and experiencing it through the front-facing camera of someone running for their life.
Yeah. Well, luckily for this movie, it's not like there's any movie that has similar scenes that look incredible and are extremely exciting compared to.
I mean, Cameron, I said at the beginning, but the fact that the War of the Worlds was adapted by Orson Welles for the Mercury Radio Theater, which is just even in audio format, is thrilling. And then also Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise. And it's just like, wow, they were like, Rich Lee was just like, bet. I'm going. So basically, they do a raid on Disruptor in Chicago, but like, oh, it's just a decoy. Like Disruptor escapes again. But like, okay, this was like probably about 20 minutes into the movie. Like, and Sandra Nasta is calling again. She's like, seems like things are getting crazier with these storms. And he's like, not now.
Yeah.
So basically,
the storms are unrelated.
To be fair, I would be like that too. If I worked at the DHS and some lady from NASA was calling me, there's lightning everywhere, I would be like, shut up.
Do you ever call me
you
and
deal
just
with it?
Talk to me? Why are you always calling me and telling me about the weather? You work at NASA also?
Imagine if the roles were reversed and he's calling her when she's trying to like, I don't know, launch satellites. And he's like, I just found another pedophile.
Yeah. My daughter ate a fucking muffin. So maybe shut up about this rocket ship.
So basically, right as the FBI blows their botched serving a warrant on the notorious hacker Disruptor, that's when everything goes to hell. And like thousands of meteors emerge from these strange clouds and begin raining down on every major metropolitan area across the face of the planet.
We're missing a very important character build and world building scene, I think.
Okay, please.
Where it was after Sandra NASA called him. It might have been Karen FBI, I forgot. But he goes to his dead wife's.
Right.
He goes to his dead wife's, "Hey, I'm dead" Facebook page.
Yeah.
And he messages her, "Hey," and it doesn't go through. And then he listens to a voicemail that's like, "I miss you. I love you. Even though I died from cancer, that doesn't mean I love you less. Try to be nice to the kids and not spy on them." And he's like,
so funny.
And he just sits there playing the audio message on his dead wife's memorial page. And he's like, "Damn, the one thing I forgot to do. Not spy on the kids."
It's so funny that there's the last remaining audio of his wife, it seems, because he also probably has videos of her in his phone, I would think.
And probably honestly thousands of hours of video of her walking around the house, sitting on the toilet, going to the fridge.
And instead he chooses this one single sentence that she says from a Facebook account that's dead, where she says, "Be nice to the kids." It's so good.
Yeah, didn't she say take out the trash?
Yeah, she's like, take out the trash and be nice to the kids.
And he goes, "Oh fuck! I didn't think the trash pickup was Wednesday." So yeah, basically the aliens hit. Like, meteors crash land. Like thousands of meteors start hitting everywhere, all over. And like FBI Ellen is running, and she's like, "Oh my god, we just wanted to arrest the hacker, and now everything's blowing up." And like, as this like breaking news like hits the media, hits people's social feeds. There's just footage of chaos and disaster happening everywhere, all over the world. I can't stress enough, just like Ice Cube's reaction shots of just looking at this is just like mouth agape, just going, "Damn," like, "Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh God. Oh man. I can't believe this is happening. Oh, good Lord, no."
He like took all the same reaction faces that he had as the police chief in 21 Jump Street with Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill are like, "We farted," and he's like,
he watches like 100,000 people die in a blink of the eye, and he's like, "Damn."
My favorite reaction he has, because it's so clear that they did 1 hour. I mean, it took 6 hours to film the movie. They did 1 hour that was reactions. And my favorite one is the only one where he really gets up, where his house explodes, and he gets up and he goes, "Shit!" And then he sits right back down.
Damn! I live there.
Yeah, he's like, "Shit, man!" All right, back to sitting.
I like when the alien attack starting to occur, and like he's watching, Armageddon take place as like, cities crumble and, disasters befall the entire face of the planet. He does spill his coffee at one point. That's how animated he gets by this. That's how exciting what he's watching is. He does spill his coffee at one point. But then it's just like, "Oh fuck, emergency Zoom meeting." Like, I thought this was going to be a lazy Sunday, but now I have to be on with the director of Homeland Security, who's played by Clark Gregg, I think is his name.
God damn it. I had all the toilets at Taste of Chicago lined up today. Now all these people are dying. This is terrible.
Yeah, he just has a big like matrix wall of like every toilet with a green circle next to it, and the meteors hit, and they all just start going red down the wall.
No! Good Lord, no! Jesus, why?
No. The last one is like the Hooters toilet, and it's getting like fuzzy. He's like, "No, please!" Blinks out.
The aliens seem to be targeting all the Twin Peaks and Hooters.
We can't let them get to the tilted kilt.
He's basically, he is like the architect in the Matrix, and that he sits in a big room with like lots of screens, and it's just like, "Mr. Neo, this is the third global bathroom surveillance matrix we've created. The first two."
It kind of seems like he doesn't even he can't even get a second monitor though. I feel like he has one screen. I feel like he's doing all this on
my desk. He has one screen camera. You're right.
Yeah, so crazy. Can't even spring for a second monitor.
I'm only monitoring like 3 women, and I have 2 monitors.
They should make a movie that takes up 2 monitors.
That's good.
Yeah.
That should have been what this was.
Yeah,
That
that's
should
a
have been
good
a
idea.
2-monitor movie.
Yeah, since Amazon is doing is this is their foray into film, and this is their, I think, good faith effort to destroy cinema and human culture in general. I think it's a great idea. They should, the next movie they do should be a movie you have to watch on your TV and laptop at the same time.
Yeah.
So like one character only appears on your laptop screen, the other appears on the computer. And like it's a 2-screen experience, as they say.
You get to see and click around on all of the government stuff that he's doing.
Yeah. No, you know what? It should be that the movie's on the TV, and then you can get the app on your phone, and if you're bored during the movie, you can look, and there's a bunch of stuff that says, "Damn, this movie is fucking boring."
This movie should have been marketed as those websites where when you're playing a game and your boss walks in and you're supposed to make it look like a desktop. It should have been marketed as just one of those, and your boss walks in, just fucking hanging out with Ice Cube on FaceTime.
I'm talking to the Secretary of Defense right now. Don't mind me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Shit, is that Roderick?
Yeah, so data is food.
That fucking Roderick you're talking to?
Yeah, I know
right now?
Roderick as well. So bye,
He's
boss.
working at Amazon. Shit.
Open back up Quantum Planets.
So
Ice Cube's character's version of that is changing from like the domestic toilets he's looking at to like toilets in Morocco in the Muslim world.
It's like a 4K footage of a toilet that is just in the middle of a tile room with like a rice paper divider. Not even a real bathroom. You can see everything.
Yeah, I'm not looking at any personal toilets today, just the work ones.
So like as the apocalypse happens, like his son calls him, and his son says like, "Dad, I've got information that you need to know." And he's like, "Shut up, leave me alone. I'm trying to spy on your sister. I'm trying to the good child that I have, not your fucking lazy ass." The FBI Ellen gets killed in the alien onslaught. And true to the H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds forum, like the giant meteors like hit the ground. Sandra NASA investigates, but then lo and behold, the meteors crack open to give birth to the famous alien tripods, which begin to ransack every major American city. And now, guys, here, I'm trying to adequately convey to the listener here in an audio format just how underwhelming and bad all of the action and aliens in this movie look like. I would be generous and say PS3 era graphics, but honestly,
oh yeah, no, it's the
PS2
Banshee
maybe.
It's the Banshee from Xbox or from fucking Halo 2.
During the credits, I honestly thought it was going to be the whole cast, Ice Cube, whatever, VFX by Freddie Wong. That's pretty sick.
There's one point where it's I think it's a footage of the Washington Monument, and I think they just painted the Banshee from Halo white. There's a part I was literally I paused it to look at it. And I was that's the fucking Banshee.
Almost every single backdrop and special effect in this entire movie looks like a Snapchat filter. Looks like they found it on Instagram and just put that in the movie.
So on the Zoom call, they're like, "Will, we need your analysis right now." And he's like, "Hold on, I'm calling my daughter." Like I said, a lot of abuse of company time, a lot of personal calls being made. But his daughter, he finally gets through to her, and she's out on the street, and he's like, "What are you doing outside?" And she's like, I'm walking somewhere. What did you think was going on?" And he was like, "I told you, never leave indoors ever. Bad things happen outside." But
Stay in the bathroom.
But this gets to I think my favorite line of dialogue in the movie. And so he's FaceTiming with his daughter. She's running down the street as a Leviathan alien tripod destroys Washington D.C. And he says this line to her. Speaking of the aliens, the alien war machine destroying Washington, D.C., he says, "Stay clear of that stuff."
At that point, they didn't know what it was going to be.
Just all that stuff over there. Just stay away from it. It's bad.
Like, stay away from the scariest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like anything that exists.
Another amazing line in that scene is when it's his pregnant daughter and she gets attacked by this fucking thing. She gets a metal rod stuck into her leg. It's like the only actual like gore in the movie. It's like a little bit gruesome. And he clicks on her like vitals monitor. He says, "Your heart rate is too high."
And he keeps going back to that throughout the entire movie.
The problem here is that your heart rate is 102.
Yeah, maybe chill out a little bit.
That is my favorite. I love that scene because he's like, she's pregnant and he's trying to calm her down. And like, even if you were just pregnant and you didn't get impaled by an alien, this would be the worst guy to calm you down. Because he's just like, calm down, your heart rate's so high.
Calm the fuck down now.
Yeah. He's freaking out.
Does he raise his voice at all in this movie? Like, he says, "Oh shit," one time. I think everything else is just him going, "Oh."
Yeah, he's kind of at the constant like medium level. Like he's always splitting the difference. Because again, they never knew what the context of any of these scenes were going to be. So it's like, look, we gotta make sure that whatever you say, we can use it for if you're getting attacked by an alien or if you're warning your daughter about muffins.
Yeah.
They were shooting another movie in the other room.
I mean, like,
keep it down.
I said it before, but like, yeah, something unimaginable happens. The world is under attack by alien tripod war machines. Then just imagine most of the movie, the most bored-looking Ice Cube imaginable, just looking at this and saying, "Damn."
Oh no!
Well, this gets to the Tesla scene where he's like, his daughter is injured on the street, and he's like, oh, emergency services, like there are no ambulances, like they're all swamped. Hundreds of thousands of people are dying right now. And then like he like goes to like the Google Street View from like where she's collapsed, impaled through the leg, and there's like a Tesla parked across the street, and he's like, "Oh, I'll have a little of that." Hacks into the Tesla. He's like, "Crawl to the Tesla, just get inside of it." Like, "Oh, it'll drive." She's like, "But Dad, like I can't drive," and he's like, "Don't worry, Teslas drive themselves." But what I liked about this scene is that like in addition to like all of the ads in this movie for Amazon. Did you find that this was maybe a little bit of covert Jeff Bezos shade on Elon Musk and his car company? Because like essentially the depiction of Teslas in this movie is like, buy the Tesla, the car that can be easily sabotaged by the government with the click of a button.
Yeah.
The government can right click on it and make a bleeding woman climb into your car.
Genuinely, I was sitting my ass on the couch watching on the flat screen TV, and I was like, finally, we have soft disclosure of the murder of Michael Hastings from Ice Cube.
Yeah, he's like, here's a trick I learned from a certain Rolling Stone journalist who talked out a turn about JSOC. He's like, but don't worry, this one will just take you to the hospital, not put you into a concrete divider at 90 miles an hour. But like, as his daughter is bleeding to death on the way to what is surely a like destroyed and hospital filled to the brim with alien attack victims, she's like, "I don't want to die," and he's like, "Listen, I understand why you didn't invite me to your baby shower." And she's like, "Are you really doing this now, Dad?" And he's like, "I have to." And then his daughter sort of like reads him the riot act, and she's like, "You got to wake up, Dad, and understand you don't have any power to keep the world safe. You got to let go. I'm not a kid anymore." As aliens destroy the city around her, she's like, "I'm not a kid anymore. You got to let go. I've lived my own life now." And it's just like, then you see like the National Mall on fire, just like thousands dead everywhere. It's like, I can live my own life, Dad. I don't need your help, except to get this car hacked so I can not die.
And he saves it from, he somehow turns off all of the cameras in the Tesla, which I think is how those cars drive. Yeah. And then he saves the battery life on the, it's a riveting scene, guys.
Well, don't they like, aren't Teslas basically like Pelotons where you have to like log in to use them?
Dude, there's such pieces of junk that just random fucking toilet guys can log in from anywhere in Washington, D.C.
But wouldn't that fucking, I guess we haven't gotten there yet. But the data inside of this car.
Oh, the data.
Dude, don't spoil it.
Yeah, let's get to the
pick up the Tesla and just fucking eat the thing.
Let's get to the data, because like I do like that in the midst of all this, he opens up Gmail and just begins to draft an email to his daughter. Subject line: being a parent is hard.
Yeah.
The world is ending. Like, millions are perishing right now.
Yeah.
Subject line: being a parent is hard.
Yeah. Spending his entire life being the worst dad of all time and then deciding he's going to turn over a new leaf right when he's literally the only person in the entire world that can save the earth. The only person who has the right click on drone program.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we should get to because like up until this part of the movie, it's been I would say a novel treatment of the War of the Worlds, but for the most part, fairly faithful to the source material outside of the Ice Cube's character and everything else in the movie. But as far as the mechanics of the alien invasion go, fairly decent adaptation of the source material. I want to get to the data part of this movie because this is where this movie really starts to cook. So after Will Radford tells the president that he must initiate this War of the Worlds to save humanity.
Terrible casting on the president. By the way.
Yeah.
So the scene where the Secretary of Defense and the president are on a Zoom call with Will Radford, who wasn't even supposed to come into work that day. Like, what was their plan if he wasn't there? They go, well, we have all the militaries unified. What should we do? And Will Radford goes, the aliens are concentrated in the biggest cities in the world. I think we should send the militaries there. And they're like, oh my God, what a great idea.
I just looked up who played the president, by the way. This is the man who voiced George W. Bush and John Kerry in the Jib Jab video.
No,
what?
Yeah.
What? You're kidding me.
That's why they got
This
it
land
for
is your
sure.
land?
Yeah, this land is your
my
land.
God.
That's crazy.
This land is your land. This land is my land. I'm an intellectual. You're a stupid dumbass.
Yeah, that's the first thing on his
that is
Wikipedia
amazing.
page.
Patrick, that is such a good poll. That is incredible
Holy
casting. Holy shit. That's
Oh
wow.
my God.
That is mind-blowing, Patrick. That is amazing.
Oh, he was also on Elmer Fudd. He was Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny and Friends Sing the Beatles.
It's not as big of a role, but it's big.
Yeah.
This guy's good.
So basically, thanks to the efforts of Will Radford, China joins forces with NATO for the first time ever to fight the War of the Worlds. And initially, it seems like it's going pretty well. And Ice Cube's watching footage of the tripods get hit with missiles, and he's like, "Yeah, hell yeah!" A great Ice Cube line: "Take your intergalactic asses back home." And he's like, "Hell yeah, take them out." And then he's like, "But what do they want? Why are these aliens here? What are they doing here?"
He says this because, like, during the CNN broadcast, where the reporter asks, this reporter wonders, what do they want? There are hashtags like going across the screen that are like, damn, this war is crazy. War of the Worlds. Why are they here? Let's kick their asses. The world united.
So, his son calls him again. And I love this scene because, like, the first time his son called him, it was like, I guess, early on in this. But, like, now a full-on War of the Worlds is happening. And his son is like, Dad, I really need to talk to you. The government's lying to you about what's going on. I have information that is of dire importance to the survival of the human race. And he's like, son, you need to leave that conspiracy shit at the door. And what I like about that is, like, wouldn't at this point you would just maybe be like, yeah, I'm willing to hear him out here.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so funny. He was just also drafting his email about how terrible a father he was and that he wanted to change. And his son calls him and he's like, fuck off, man.
Shut up, bitch.
I was just specifically being like, man, fuck all that conspiracy shit. Let me just hack into a Tesla from 500 miles away and drive my daughter around.
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask one thing about War of the Worlds? Is the original book about being a bad dad as well?
No.
I've never read it.
No.
I only know the fucking. Okay, was the Orson Welles play about being a bad dad? I know
No,
the
not at all.
Spielberg
Not at
one.
all.
I've seen that one.
The Spielberg
Okay,
one
so
is
they're
about
just-
being a good dad.
They just adapted another movie.
Like, they took the family element from the Spielberg version, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, I mean, like, if the original novel is really about anything, it's just like basically the point of the book is like, hey, England, what if someone colonized us? Would you like it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Would you be grateful to them for doing it? But at this point, so his son's trying to tell him the real stuff, and he's like, I don't want to hear your far out there conspiracy bullshit. I'm watching a live feed of aliens destroy the planet right now. I don't need your loony out there conspiracy theories, which are of no relevance to anything happening right now. I don't really remember like at what point Ice Cube is like, damn, they make a sound every time they change direction, and then he goes, they're not trying to communicate, they're trying to locate. And I don't really know how like this unravels, but at some point it's revealed that what the aliens are really after is like the entire War of the Worlds was just a diversion. And in fact, what the tripods are really seeking out are government data centers. And like, they're like, damn, they found all the government servers. And like, they just go to like data centers and like stick their tentacles in it and start downloading everything. And this is the moment when Ice Cube says, oh shit, they're in hyper download. So basically, the conceit of the movie is what the aliens actually want from planet Earth. And like they say this at multiple times in the movie, that our most precious resource on planet Earth is not our atmosphere or water or cobalt or titanium or anything like that. It's data. Our most precious resource is our data. And the aliens want it. And they want it all. And when they have all our data, they're going to like leave us in the Stone Age and just be like, hey, thanks for all those nudes, human race. We're fucking off to Venus now.
My data! No, I'm back in the Stone Age without my data.
So they're doing hyper download, and it's like originally the military counteroffensive is going pretty well, but then it's just like, oh no, the military has no data. They're like, fuck, they have to eyeball this shit.
The guns are all jamming. They're like,
yeah. You know the way soldiers are nowadays. Everything's on computers. They're like, Sarge, I don't have any data. What do I do with this gun? They're like,
if you're in Delta Force, it means you're like really good at Microsoft Teams.
Yeah. That's why you have to plug your USB stick into every gun now.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
So every system on planet Earth has been penetrated and drained of its data. Meanwhile, his daughter is bleeding to death on the floor of an abandoned hospital. And this is a moment of the movie that really stuck out for me because early in the movie, it is established, or at least alluded to, that his daughter is some sort of biochemistry student and genius. Now, she has something protruding from her thigh, and things get really dire when she says, Dad, I thought I could stop the bleeding if I pulled it out. And he goes, no, why did you do that? And you know what? Like, I don't think someone who is like a genius level biochemistry student should be allowed to be dumb enough to just be like, if I pull this thing out of my artery, I think the bleeding will stop.
Right. Yeah. They mentioned that she's a biochemistry student like once, and then for the rest of the movie, Ice Cube is just talking to her like she's the dumbest woman to ever exist.
Yeah. So the boyfriend comes, he makes a tourniquet for her with Amazon packing tape. And then they're like, these things eat data? That's terrible. Data is what we all need to live. And like, basically the entire world is going dark just except for Ice Cube's computer. But there's a reason for that we will later come out. I really like the scene where like, as the planet's data is being drained, he goes to Facebook to look at his dead wife's Facebook page and sees like each one of the pictures just disappear along with the voice message. And like that's we got an emotional moment there as all his wife's data is drained by the aliens.
And they say over and over the data is their food. Right?
Yeah.
Which I think is amazing. But I wanted to see, in that part, I really wanted to see specifically whatever alien ended up eating those photos and what he
watching them actually eat a photo.
Yeah. Like Timon and Pumbaa, the Timon and Pumbaa of those aliens. Them eating that would have been great.
It's like if being a sapiosexual also worked like photosynthesis.
Yeah.
So all of Earth's data is being deleted, and we'll be left, basically like cavemen at the end. But you know what? Because this movie is produced by Amazon, at no point did they like broach the idea that like, hey, maybe we're better off without all this shit. Maybe we're better off without Facebook and Amazon. No, it's the most important thing in the world. Okay, guys, time to reveal the big twist of the movie that I'm sure no one saw coming. At what point, like, how does he find out that his son is the notorious hacker Disruptor?
I know.
Okay.
He pitch shifts his voice up.
Yeah.
Which is
This sounds my son's high pitched ass.
It's so sick. They've been hunting this guy forever. This is the guy that did the fucking fappening, and they are like, how do we know? What the fuck is this? How can we figure this guy's voice out? Oh, let's pitch it up.
Yeah. He literally opens, it's like the actual window from Adobe Premiere. And he's just sitting there and he clicks modulation and EQ.
So sick, dude. Nobody thought of that.
He says the greatest fucking line in history. And when the big reveal happens, he says, "My own son is hacking the government."
Yeah,
like it's the one thing he taught him not to do throughout his entire childhood.
It all goes back to the Goliath program, and like it's some like huge surveillance program, and like his son knows about the Goliath program. He's been trying to warn the world about it, and his own son hacked the government to warn the world about the Goliath program. And his son is like, "Dad, like I know you love, working for the man and whatnot, but you need to know the truth about the Goliath program." And he's like, "Son," and he sends him the files he was going to leak to the world, Edward Snowden style. And he sends him PDF, Goliath program. And Ice Cube says, "Son, there is nothing on those files that could ever make me change my mind that what you did is wrong." He then proceeds to open the files, and within 1 minute of doing so, becomes Edward Snowden himself. Now, I like this detail that, like, obviously, like, the Goliath files are just all, like, the standard, like, UFO mythology, like Area 51, Skinwalker Ranch, like all that kind of stuff. And they're like, he's like, "Oh, my God, the government has known about this since the 40s. They've been lying to us." And they knew that, like, because the Goliath data collection program would amass more data than any computer ever has. It would be the biggest collection of data in the universe. And the government knew that once they turned the Goliath program on, the aliens would be like, "Data, I'm going to come get that." Because like all the data that we had before, it wasn't enough. When they turn on the Goliath Global Monitoring Data Collection Program, the greatest surveillance program of all time, it's like ringing the dinner bell to
It's
the
like
data
a Krispy
hungry
Kreme hot sign.
How can it be more? How can it be more fucking data than we already have? Are they just copying and pasting every single file 2 times?
It's double the data. The aliens won't be able to resist.
Well, what I like about this
like,
is
how is it like they're also saying that it's like the greatest surveillance system ever, and it's like, how is it better than what Ice Cube has?
Yeah.
Yes, like very good point.
Oh, well,
very
they
good
actually
point.
say this. They say at one point we can hear or we can predict people's thoughts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not hear
that's
people's
just
thoughts. They
magic.
predict. Yeah, it's magic.
That's not any technology. No technology.
No, it's not data.
That.
It's not really data.
It's not really,
Magic.
It's just you have a
Maybe the
technically,
aliens
this is
think
not
that is
data.
food too. Maybe they actually like that even more than data.
Well, thoughts are data. That's true. Think about that.
Dude.
Well, Patrick, you bring
Don't
up
even get into it.
thoughts are data, but they're not easily accessed via thumb drive or like digitally. And it seems like the aliens are really into like microchips and shit like that. But here's a question I had. So like in the Goliath file dump, they're like, wow, this goes back to like the 1940s. This goes back to like the end of World War II. Classic X-Files stuff. But what I want to know is like the aliens they've known about the aliens. They've known about the aliens' love of data going back to the 1940s. And I was just wondering, like, what was the 1940s equivalent of data? There's just some like alien like Slimer munching IBM punch cards that like the Holocaust or whatever.
Just
Eating
eating
people's
78 speed records.
Yeah.
Of, like the pineapple rag.
Yeah.
So like Roswell was because they heard like the Jack Benny show being
Is this near this? Where is the scene where Eva Longoria calls him and shows him a microscope image of one of the bugs?
Oh yeah.
Is that around this part?
That's around
it's around here.
Where she shows him that, and he's like, "So what? It's just a fucking robo bug." And then she zooms in more, and we see red blood cells on it, and he's like, "Wait, why is there blood on the bug?" I fucking loved that one.
Yeah, so he's like, damn, I can't believe the government that empowers me to spy on my daughter's bowel movements would lie to me about something as important as aliens and the Goliath data collection program. At this point in the movie, we realize that like the real villain of the movie is the head of the Department of Homeland Security, Ice Cube's boss, played by Clark Gregg. And at this point, like his boss calls him, and he's just like, "Very good, Mr. Radford. I see you've there's audio files of like the president being like, dude, you can't turn on this data collection system. The aliens are going to come fucking eat all our data. And he's like, shut up, asshole. This is the best surveillance system ever. And I've air gapped it. So there's no way they're getting to this
Who the
data.
fuck was recording that? What?
Okay, do you guys remember the moment? You guys remember the moment in the movie where they show a screenshot of Senator Chuck Schumer like on Discord being like, do not turn the Goliath system on. It's not approved.
That's real.
It really caught me off guard that everything is fake, and then they have Chuck Schumer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was completely real. He was warning the government against the Goliath system.
So they
That's an actual leak, dude. They
sneak that stuff in. That's this is soft disclosure.
In the movie. Right. Yeah. They were like, okay, here's the files you can use, and here's the files you can't.
Dude, same thing.
Like,
they're acknowledging Skinwalker Ranch, dude. That's all going to come out. That's going to be fucking real very soon.
I believe that.
I believe that half of all creepypastas are limited hangouts.
Oh my god, they should have had a fucking SCP folder on that phone when they were scrolling down.
So
SCP Squidward Suicide.mov. Go. Oh, fucking
Five Nights at Freddy's real.
Five Nights at Freddy's. The true story. The actual story of Five Nights at Freddy's. The dark games that the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's made before he made Five Nights at Freddy's. Just every YouTube video that you've ever seen.
Yeah. Every YouTube video you've ever seen is real, and Chuck Schumer has seen all of them.
So, it's revealed that his boss, the head of Homeland Security, is the bozo who not just created the Goliath program, but against the express orders of the president, turned it on and rang the dinner bell for the data hungry, the data starving aliens who want all of our data. He essentially initiates an invasion of planet Earth because he's just like, well, shit, I get to be in charge of the data and there's no way they'll get to this data. And he's like, these bureaucrats don't keep America safe. I do. And our data as well. And they'll never get it. And so then the head of the Department of Homeland Security, I love this sequence. He locks Ice Cube out of all of his computer stuff. And he's like, damn, I can't log in. What's he going to do? Is the movie going to change perspective? Is he going to go outside? Are we going to like see more of the world as this alien invasion happens? No. His son, the hacker Disruptor, just within 10 seconds of him being locked out of the system, uses his hacking skills to log him back into the system. He gives him control of all the DHS computers again. And like at this point, like 5 minutes ago, remember, he said to his son, there's nothing in these files that could ever get me to change my mind. Then he realizes his boss initiated an alien invasion to turn on the Goliath surveillance program, feels very shocked and offended that the government would lie to him, is locked out of his computer, logs back into his computer, and then uploads all of the files himself. He just takes over his son's Disruptor alias and is like, I'm disrupting with you now, son. We're fighting the system.
It's sick.
That was a sweet scene, though.
Yeah.
You have to admit.
And when they make the promo video for it, that shit was so fucking tough. And then they bring in the whole team. When they introduce that team, it really is like, they're gonna die. There's the only reason to intro them is for them to die.
Yeah.
So like he's like, Dad, like, okay, they keep talking about like they're like, oh, like maybe we could do a DDoS attack on the aliens, and Ice Cube's like, nah, that won't work. There's too much data. We need to go old school. I need a rabbit virus. And his son is like, oh shit, Dad, that's brilliant. What the fuck? They say the term rabbit virus like 10 times in this movie, and I'm just like, sounds cool, I guess. I guess it's fast. It's preferable to the tortoise virus.
The tortoise virus is, well, you would think that, Will.
Yeah. Oh, I have a fable for you to read, my friend.
I love this scene where he joins the Disruptors team, because the stuff before and after the virus too, where they're just like, how are we going to get the aliens to download it? Put it in a hyperlink. Damn, now we're cooking old school.
They've also added, so they're adapting this from the 2005 movie, and they've also added in Independence Day, where it's like, we're going to upload a virus to the aliens.
Yeah.
One thing that I think we haven't mentioned yet too is like 3 or 4 times in the movie when Ice Cube does something, he presses a Staples "That Was Easy" button like 5 times.
Which is
I have not seen one of those in like 10 years.
That to me is the most insane product placement in the movie.
It's crazy
is that he
they
just
still
has
exist?
they're like, how the fuck is Oh, we just used the button.
Yeah.
My favorite trope in movies that you don't really see that much anymore, you still see it, but it's dying out, is the trope of like talking about hacking like it's being an athlete.
Yeah.
Like his son didn't know that Ice Cube was the original like gifted hacker, and that's why he ended up at the DHS. And they're like watching each other do Inspect Element, and they're like, "Damn, you got skills.
You still got it, old man."
Yeah. I love that.
So like the hacker team, they get their IPs backtraced by the tripods. They get taken out. They're like, "Oh no, my data!" And then the fucking aliens come and blow up their houses. There's a moment where Ice Cube thinks his son and his house has been destroyed, and he's like, "Oh damn, I don't have alien invasion insurance or dead son insurance or life insurance for any of my kids. That's why I just watch them all the time, because if they die, I'll be ruined financially." At this point, they're like, the aliens are converging on the Department of Homeland Security, the building Ice Cube is in. They're going to try to get all the Goliath data. And the president's like, "Unfortunately, we must drop 2 nuclear bombs on DC just to be sure." They're like, I think at one point in the movie, they're like, "We are specifically going to bomb the DHS headquarters twice.
We're going to destroy every toilet in the DC metro area."
I like the idea that the president's character was just suicidal like before this. Yeah, there's only one way to stop this.
Because it doesn't just end with the rabbit virus. Because like they get the rabbit virus, and then they're like, at this point, I think Ava Longoria is like, "Look, there's blood in the computer chip. It's DNA."
Yeah.
So then it's not just that the son's a hacker. Then they start talking to the daughter, who I believe has just given birth and nearly bled to death. And they're like, "We could use your cannibal code." And they start talking about another code, but it's like a DNA code that the daughter wrote, and it's like a vaccine or something.
His daughter basically cured every disease, it seems like, right before the movie started. And they were like, with this cannibal code that eats every disease.
Also, he didn't know about it. He had to find out through going through someone's Facebook. He had no idea that his daughter cured every disease on Earth.
The way that they introduce this, by the way, is when he hacks into his daughter's iMessage conversation with her boyfriend, and he says, like, they just have a conversation. At the end, he just basically says, like, "You go, girl," and then sends a screenshot of her scientific journal article.
He's like, "I'm so proud of my baby mama for curing cancer. Love you, honey."
Yeah. Oh, I just remembered there's one part where they're like, he's got Roderick on the fucking like Ring camera.
Yeah.
And then it like a square pops up on him, and at the bottom it says "baby daddy."
Yeah, it does say "baby daddy." In the Department of Homeland Security system, it can identify baby daddies. That's one of the 4 things that this computer thinks it is. The computer is actually, the identifying thing is amazing. When it shows the one of the aliens, it says next to it says like all the stats about the alien just from a really like fuzzy video feed, and then one of the stats it says is weight 100 tons. I was like, that is an amazing camera.
It has its win-loss records, OPS, walks, hits, sprintings, pitched, like they got all the data.
Ice Cube's children are the world's greatest hacker. Like they keep trying to find this guy, they can't. He like the FBI's. It doesn't matter how many PDFs they upload, they'll never get Disruptor. And the woman who cured all the diseases in the world. And like it's kind of an endorsement of his, I would say, unorthodox parenting method.
That's true.
Yeah.
He has successful kids, and I love that he sees that shit, and he's like, "Okay, there's my daughter invented a treatment that cures all diseases. I don't care." And he sees it. And he's like, "Finally, something we can use this fucking stupid shit my daughter made. We can kill a bunch of aliens."
So basically, his 2 genius children, like basically as a product of their efforts that he was totally unaware about, will combine to save the world by giving the aliens a DNA encoded computer virus that will kill them. But in order to do that, he needs a thumb drive that he can attach to the Goliath servers, which are coincidentally enough located in the basement of the Department of Homeland Security building that he is in. But he does not have a thumb drive because it's a secure government facility. They don't let thumb drives in there.
Mm-hmm.
So Roderick comes up with a brilliant idea. Roderick, the Amazon delivery driver, by the way, is like, I could Amazon airmail it to you. I got the drone right here. He whips it out of the backpack, puts on the, like the VR goggles, and is like, I'm flying this bitch over. And then like, I cannot stress enough that like I'd seen this clip of the movie before I watched the movie, and I was like, God, that's terrible. This is awful.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for how much of the entire climax of this movie involves a drone being flown into a building.
Yeah.
And here's what I say, like the drone is doing battle with like the alien tripods. The hacker son hacks into like Predator drones and is like, I'll cover you, as this shitty Amazon drone is just like, whoa, flying around. At some point, the drone gets knocked down, though, and it needs to be flipped over. This is truly the most extraordinary part of this movie.
It is. This is the best part of the entire movie.
So they're like, oh, this is all remote. We need someone to like physically intervene to just like flip this little turtle back onto its legs so it can get the thumb drive to the Department of Homeland Security and save the world. On the drone's camera, they notice a homeless person who's just in a tent on the street.
Cowering.
Yeah, just cowering under like a highway overpass. A homeless person that like
a homeless guy who's scared but also on his phone.
They call they call this homeless man on his Obama phone that all homeless people are given by the government. And they're like, and they give him an Amazon gift card to just walk across the street and turn the drone over
for $1,000.
Where is he going to get his Amazon package delivered to when he redeems it?
That's a great point. Perhaps he does the locker pickup.
Yeah, they're like, Amazon will deliver anywhere, even to a tent community underneath a bridge somewhere.
Knowing him, he's probably just going to buy a fucking another tent. Dumbass homeless guy.
I love this scene because I feel like this was Jeff Bezos himself editorializing that, like, because Ice Cube's daughter goes, does he even have a phone? And Ice Cube goes, everyone has phones. And it was Bezos going, like, no, things aren't that bad.
Yeah.
Even the most tent living homeless people have phones.
Even the guy who said
they
his
can receive messages
in the middle of the street. By the way, that's where his tent is in the middle of a road.
Did he just see like that the roads they've been completely cleared out? There's debris everywhere, and he's like, finally. I can camp out in the middle of the highway like I've always wanted to do.
Yeah, he's been under the bridge for years watching cars whiz by and just going, one day I'm setting up this tent right on the double yellow line.
I can't wait to be in the street.
So the homeless guy intervenes, turns the Amazon drone right side up, and flies away, flies into the Department of Homeland Security, like into the data stacks, and Ice Cube's like, hurry up, they're about to drop a nuclear bomb on us. But luckily the thumb drive gets there in time. They upload the rabbit virus encoded with the daughter's cannibal code. It kills all the aliens, and Washington, D.C. is saved. At one point, though, Ice Cube says, as the Amazon drone flies through the legs of the tripod, he does quote the great Ludacris song, "Move, bitch, get out the way." I appreciated that. Little Easter egg for the hip-hop heads watching this movie.
Ice Cube, to his credit, traverses 3 sets of stairs, and I would say 30 meters of office. I love the line where he's discovering what Goliath is. He goes, damn, right under my nose. And it's kind of implied that, like, if Goliath was in another building, then, like, humanity's doomed.
Yeah.
He's not leaving leaving the building.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lucky breaks. I mean, I love the rationale that they give for, like, the virus working. They say, the human, like, DNA is a lot like computer stuff. It's a lot like data.
They also let you think that Ice Cube is dead for like 8 seconds at the end there.
Yeah.
He does like a full goodbye thing. I think tentacles grab him and pull him away. And then and then he's just right back on fucking FaceTime, dude.
like, yeah, the movie ends and you think Ice Cube has heroically sacrificed his life to save the planet and defeat the aliens. Yeah, Caleb, you're right. It's like, then it's like epilogue, and you're like, man, I'm sad Ice Cube's dead. And then it's just like, he's just back on the computer screen. Hey, everybody, still here. I'm at the baby shower. They invited me to the baby shower, everybody. I'm wearing the dorky t-shirt. I'm like grumpy dad. The end of the movie is like, the Secretary of Defense calls him and he's like, Agent Will Radford, you did a heck of a job saving humanity. How'd you like to be put in charge of our new totally cool data collection program that won't violate anyone's privacy? And he's like, sorry, sir, it's not for me. I spent my entire career watching people for you, but now I'm going to be watching you for the people. And the Secretary of Defense is like, what? Oh. And I know we also
calls his wife.
Yeah,
go to the bathroom.
And I love the very end of the movie. It shows like family photos of Ice Cube, Roderick, his daughter, his son. They're at the baby shower. They're at the family cookout. They're having a great time. But it was very obvious from the photos that like none of these actors were even in the same continent, and it was like their faces were just like very poorly.
I also love that they all had the different shark shirts on for their relation to the baby, and then Sandra's says NASA shark.
Yeah.
The exact convention of her of naming her in his phone is also just how people only know her as NASA.
Generate her face because there's like a part it does not look like her at all.
Yeah, Patrick, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, like at the very end, like it looked weird. It did not look like Ava Longoria.
Yeah,
they do a lot of stuff like that in this movie. There's a part where the head of the bad guy is like on one of the calls, but it's clear that they didn't want to reshoot it because they changed a line, so they just made his video feed like super choppy.
It's just like two frames going back and
do a little
forth.
ADR, I like that. In addition to Senator Chuck Schumer, the other real life person featured in this movie at the very end is just a screenshot of the Joe Rogan podcast, and it's just Joe Rogan like Radford Family Heroes. And if we don't, it's just like a screenshot of like a YouTube still of Joe Rogan being like, God bless those Radfords. The father, the son, the daughter, they saved humanity.
Dude, I would love to see Will Radford on the JRE.
Yep.
It's awesome that somebody definitely saw one of those like fake ads on Instagram where they take Joe Rogan and they use AI to make him say like, Royal Kingdom is the most addicting iPhone game in the world. And they used it in their movie.
Yeah.
Will Radford on JRE, and he's just calling in from his desk. He's just on the TV behind Joe Rogan.
Jamie, pull him up.
Jamie, pull up Will Radford.
And he's like, too late, Jamie. I've already pulled you up.
Damn. There's another real life person reference though. Tucker Carlson posted an article about the DHS secretary stepping down because of Goliath.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they used an AI Tim Pool voice at some point for one of the news things.
That was his real voice.
I swear to God,
that was his real voice. He's very bookable, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Sandra NASA also gets promoted to head of NASA.
Yeah.
Another strong product placement of The Intercept. All the real life people post articles from The Intercept, which that would really drive people in 2014 Twitter insane.
Yeah.
If they could see that.
So that's pretty much 2025's War of the Worlds, directed by Rich Lee, starring Ice Cube and Ava Longoria. Any final thoughts on this film?
I had a weird experience where I swear when I was starting this movie out, it was an hour and 16 minutes. And I thought, okay, great. Not a lot of this. And it gained 20 minutes in length.
Felix, I know exactly what happened. You saw it was 116 minutes, and I do this all the time. I think, oh yeah, an hour and 16 minutes.
Yeah.
Should be a breeze.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's almost 2 hours long.
I prefer to think that it's sort of like ARG. Like Will Radford wins the data of the movie, so it gets longer as you watch it.
Yeah,
I think that would be cool.
What I learned about this movie after watching it is that they started making this during COVID. This was a COVID movie, and they only just, I guess, finished.
Oh my God! So yeah, they were like, we need to it's 2020. And they're like, wow, like we need to do a movie where no one can be in the same room and it can just be like low budget, sitting at a desk. We can film everyone separately. We'll bring it together. There's a clever concept for it. 5 years later, they're like, it was a labor of love, but we did it. Yeah, what I learned from this movie is that indeed, data is our most precious resource on planet Earth, and we all need to be good stewards of the data. And the more intelligent a species is, their food will get less like food and more like knowledge, aka data. Numbers, words, images. To the genius, this is the food. This feeds your soul. It feeds your body. It's data. It makes the world go round. And don't let the government have your data. Let Amazon have your data. Because
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Throw it on the bottom of those fucking signs, dude. Data is food, straight up.
Yeah.
Water is life. Yeah,
data is food.
Real. Data is
In
food.
this house, we believe, yeah. Data is food. The Disruptor is real.
And the Secretary of Defense is named Walter Crystal.
Yeah. Walter Crystal's such a good name.
Nominative determinism.
Yeah.
He's related to Irving and William, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I learned that if I ever need to just like start a Tesla without doing the login, I need to put a crying pregnant woman who's been stabbed into it. And that automates their self-drive feature.
Felix, just the listeners here, I'd like to warn them: don't do that. An injured pregnant woman triggers the Tesla's kill drive mode. So yeah, War of the Worlds. I guess let's wrap it up there. Pod About List. It's the Pod About List. It's Patrick. It's Caleb. It's Cameron. If you don't know, you better ask some money. You better like and subscribe. You better follow that link in the show description. But guys, do you have anything coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Dude, no, but probably Patrick does.
I do. I have a show at the end of the month at Union Hall.
Excellent.
That is me and Alex Forrest from Home Planet. We host a show there. And it'll be good. We got Jack Bensinger, Marley Goddard, and Richard Perez. These are all big names to me.
Come see Patrick and Home Planet at Union Pool at the end of this month.
Union Hall.
Union Hall.
They're not big enough for Union Pool, bro.
Yeah, no, buddy, I can't sell out Union Pool. Maybe after this episode comes out, maybe next month. Not this month.
All right. Well, links for that will be in the show description. That does it for this War of the Worlds, everybody. Keep your data safe. Oh, and buy our comic book. It's like data in the physical form. Pre-order at
It's like food.
.co.
It's
it's like
basically food.
Yeah.
So buy that.
It's data that you can actually eat. You can eat paper.
True.
Yeah.
We have a message in there to our listeners in case we die in the War of the Worlds that you guys should read.
All right, gang. Thanks once again to Patrick, Caleb, and Cameron, Pod About List, for hanging out with us today. Until next time, everybody. Bye-bye.